Welcome back once again to yet another episode of Crypto After Dark. I'm Keith, Professor Keith, that dude who keeps denying everything and won't listen. Yeah, that's me. Welcome back. Good to see everybody here. I'm going to talk a little bit about downtrends tonight again because it seems to not click with some people. Try to do a little bit of crystal ball reading, which I don't like doing, but apparently that's all anybody wants to do. Talk a little bit about charts. So let's get into it, shall we? And we shall. Not crypto before dark, crypto after dark. All right. So first things first, if you would please go hit like. 20 people on, only 7 likes. Everybody go hit like. It would be great. It would be great if we could get as many likes as possible. We haven't had 100 people on here in a long time. Haters will tell you that, but that's because they don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, awesome. I would say it's market conditions. Things are getting bad, and things are only getting worse. And while it feels good for the moment that things go up and charts get a little bouncy, I'm not exactly sure that's a good thing. We'll kind of go over some of that. All right, and I got XRP pulled up on the screen, and I want to talk a little about XRP first before we get into anything else, because this is the number one talked about asset right now in the entire ecosystem. Let me get a drink of water. Throat's kind of itching. This is the number one asset talked about kind of across the board. Why is that? Well, it's for a couple of reasons. Number one, exchanges prefer for you to come and trade, because the more you trade, the more money they make. They make money every single time you click the button. So they're going to tell you the one that's the most popular to come and hit the button too, right? That way they make more money. Number two is there are some people who just won't let go of the leash of. They won't let go of the leash of. That's not how it works, Keith. You don't understand. Wait till institutions start buying, and wait until this, and wait until that. And if you just do this, Keith, don't you understand? Yeah, man, I've already lived that life, and I've already failed that miserable failure. I'm not going to repeat the same failures again. Now, I've said this before, but back in 2020, right before 2020 started, it was actually 2019, the end of 2019. That was that was the year I took my kids to Disney. Yeah. The beginning of 2020 was when I took my kids to Disney. That's right. Because I remember I was in line at Disney, and they had all the, it might have been 2021. I can't remember. Maybe it might have been 2021. 2021 is when I took my kid to Disney. So I remember sitting in the lines, and I was trying not to look at charts because I'd kind of made a deal with her that I wouldn't look at charts. But we were in line. It's COVID lines. That's how I remember it's 2021, because there was COVID lines. We're all spaced out and we're bored. So I got on my phone and started looking at charts. And charts had moved up exponentially as I was sitting there in line. And I remember thinking, damn it, I'm missing stuff. But I don't think it's time yet. All right. To go back and look at that's one thing. To go back and remember what I did wrong and what I didn't do wrong is another. And what I do remember the most intimately was what I missed was I didn't identify the trend first. So it had already kind of flipped bullish, and I missed that. So I've been very, very hard on my own self about not missing that same reaction this time, if that makes sense. I've been pretty hard on myself about not falling for it this time and making sure I'm watching carefully. It's one of them things where it creates a lot of stress. So what you guys see is, oh, this guy comes on YouTube and he talks, and I think he's right sometimes, or I think he's wrong sometimes. And, oh, he's got a paid Discord. This is what you asked for. Kinda. Okay. I don't mind people having their own opinions, getting mad at me, or people voicing what they think, or people getting mad about what I do. I don't mind that. Right. That's part of the game. You got to understand that people are going to disagree with you. People are going to agree with you, and that's all good. What I will say is, if you make it your mission to have gotcha moments the entire time, I'm not sure what you think you're accomplishing, right? Not sure what you're trying to accomplish, because I could literally go back in history and show you thousands of my aha, I got you moments. But I don't think that's the cool thing to do. What progress does that help us make? Right? None. I don't think there's any progress to be made there. I've realized after talking to some people that this just kind of goes with the immaturity of the space, and I have to learn to deal with it. And that sucks. The good news about all this is the charts don't really give a shit about any of that. It's very clear cut and dry and simple with charts. All right. It's very, very simple. Is it bullish or is it bearish? Has it broken trend? Has it not broken trend? Right. You've seen Zoltan on the thumbnail. Let's do a little chart wizardry, shall we? And the thumbnail is the thumbnail on purpose, by the way, in case you didn't know. That person will realize what I'm talking about. Some speak as a Dutch. I don't. I just know a little bit. But let's go say hey to everyone real quick. Sorry. Ignacio, what's up, brother? So now we're using astrology and divination to make our predictions, right? Hit like. Yeah, he said go hit like before you read this, right? 45 people on 28 likes. Let's go get some likes, man. Let's get to 45, right? 45 people, everybody hit like. It's free. Doesn't cost anything. Ever4, what's up? Ghost Guy, Mateo, Andreas, Nate S, Arizola JC, what's up? Alvin, what's up? Miss Phoebe, Thor's Hammer, what's up? Nick, David Shirley, what's up, dude? Frog with a hat, good to see you. Life's great in Colorado, good to see you. Got my Panthers hat on because we fired our head coach. So there's some good news. Simone, Strider Smith, what's up, Jeremy? Rope-a-dope, Anonymity, good to see you, brother. I haven't seen you in a while. Jag, just K, what's up, K? Letters and Digits, what's up? Dreamer, G Funkadillion, J 2.0, what's up, Jay? Colo, keep up the good work, sir. Thank you. So, JD Crypto, what's up? So, earlier this morning, I made sure that I got up at the butt crack of dawn this morning. I was up at 6:30, right? Ready to rock. Now, I wanted to get up at 5:30, but that's just not me anymore. I'm trying to change from that. I got up at 6:30. I came in here and pounded charts. I made a couple months' salary rather quickly. I didn't get all that. I took some profits. I didn't take enough. I wish I would have took them all, right? We can always do hindsight. Not the point. I made really good money today, so I'm not complaining. I don't want anybody to think I'm complaining about anything you're about to hear because I made good money. And I realized a lot of people freaked out and they probably lost money. In fact, the stock market this morning at opening, when I say this morning, I mean October 13th. The stock market at open was down $1.7 trillion. That doesn't scream bullish to me, right? That screams, oh shit, not bullish, right? So a recovery is great, but I'm not sure it's sustainable. So real quick, if you look at XRP right here, we can make out very, very clearly that we have a downtrend. And by downtrends, I mean higher highs and higher lows. That would be an uptrend. We don't have that. We have lower highs and lower lows. And I'll explain what I mean here. I'm going to go to a higher time frame. I'll just use weekly. You could go lower than this if you wanted to. But you have lower highs and lower lows. Along the way up the hill, I'll explain this uptrend first, right? This was an uptrend at first. That was very fun, wasn't it? Right? That was the bull market, and that went away. But throughout that bull market, we had low, high, lower, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Ooh, lower high, lower low. That wasn't great. That one was a punch in the dick. But then it recovered, right? At a lower high. This could have been a downtrend, but it broke out right here. Excellent. It broke out. Cool. So we keep going. We had higher high and higher low, and then lower high. The same thing that happened back here where we could have had this downtrend and it recovered did not happen up here. We came out and printed a lower high. I'm sorry, lower low, then a lower high, then a lower low, then a lower high, then a lower low. Now, question is, this last one, have we made a double bottom? Possibly. How will we know this is a double bottom? Well, that's an easy answer, but it's a hard answer to give. The easy answer is, have you broken resistance? And the answer is no. XRP has not broken resistance. Right here is your resistance line. Let's make that white where you can see it. It's very bright. And you could put this in the perfect spot if you'd like. I'm going to call it this area. We are flat directly underneath it. Secondly, for that to be a double bottom, you need to break trend. Has it broken trend? Is that on the bottom side of the blue line or the top side of the blue line? It's on the bottom. It's on the bottom. So therefore, it's still under a downtrend and it's still under resistance. Prove it. Just prove it. Yes, this could be bullish and it could break the trend line and we could be into a bull market. And I would love for that to happen because that means everyone's going to make money. And if that means I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay? I don't mind being wrong. I have no problem sharing when I'm wrong with everyone. I have no problem listing my moves for everyone to see over in the Discord who's a subscriber. You can see exactly what I do. You can see every trade I make. I'll tell you when I screw up and when I make profits, right? You can see my screw ups right now if you go in there and look. What I'm not going to do is break from what I know works, like simple trend identification. And if this trend breaks, I will happily say the trend's broken and we can make a move off of it. It hasn't broken yet. In fact, it's not only not broken, it's not tested over the lines yet. If it even tests over the lines, it needs to hold over the lines, break and hold, not just break. It's done none of that yet. So what now? I say for this one, we wait. I've been told for the last few days that XRP doesn't use a chart. None of that matters. That's all wrong, and you're doing it wrong, Keith. None of that works. None of that's needed. Charts are shit. You don't understand. It's all manipulated. Imagine thinking everything in your life doesn't actually work the way that it does. Imagine thinking that traffic signals aren't based on technical analysis. Imagine thinking that you deciding which milk jug to get out of the cooler when you purchase it at the grocery store is not you doing some sort of technical analysis. Imagine whenever you get that milk jug and you start walking to the line to check out and you look at those lines and you see line 1, 3 people, line 2, 7 people, line 1, no people. Technical analysis told you line 3 was the one I want to go to with no people in it. I think I'll go there. You just did technical analysis on some lines at the grocery store to figure out which one was the best one to go to. Now, you may not understand that that's technical analysis, but you just used basic technical analysis to decide that you'll get through that line quicker if you go this way. I hate to break it to you folks, but if that's the real world, what makes you think this is not? And I'm sorry, but the reality is all of this is basic, simple technical analysis that you don't have to get hyper technical with. There are tons of people who do technical analysis on YouTube. They're going to give you amazing different ways to chart and find special little features and all these little tips and tricks. In fact, they'll even teach you ways to go down on low time frames and constantly trade all day long. I think that's cool if you have time. I understand that a high majority of you people do not have time. You do not have time to sit here and trade and trade. Furthermore, even if you had time, you likely wouldn't. You likely wouldn't because it takes too much time and energy. You would rather do something else. And I understand that. Since I understand that, you're not going to see me go super crazy hardcore on here about things because I just don't think that's necessary. I really don't. I don't think it's necessary to go that crazy with stuff. So I'm going to draw some basic trend lines here. I'm going to try to follow them the best I can. So I want to break down some trend lines for you here on XRP. I was told that by no less than 3 or 4, you know what, I think it might have even been 5 people, that a certain number was baked into the charts for XRP. It will definitely go to this number, Keith. It's only a matter of time. Why aren't you watching this, Keith? You should know this. So this is very clearly what I just analyzed a moment ago. A high, a low, a higher high, a higher low. Excellent. Problem is now we've printed a lower high, so we got half of an uptrend, and a higher low, again, half of an uptrend. We don't have an uptrend yet. Until I see a higher high, this trend doesn't continue. Now, that's on a monthly chart. That's really high time frame, and I understand that. So I just showed you weekly. So in between a weekly and a monthly chart, we've got some sort of action happening that will help us identify what's going on. Just started lagging out. Let me close some stuff off. There we go. All right, so let's pull a trend line real quick. I'll grab the bottom wick here, and I'll just kind of pull up here. And if I don't grab that absolute bottom one, and I grab this one, that's a little bit more realistic. There's no way I can manipulate this to say, oh yeah, that's definitely still on an upward trajectory. That's broken the trend line south. In fact, this looks to me like it's dragging its feet the worst possible way it can. That doesn't look like that's $100 baked into me at all. In fact, even if this thing reverses from the point it's at and moves up, you're looking at $6 for the top end. If it blew the top off, $18. Do you think that's really going to happen in the middle of a bear market? It's just going to magically shoot up? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. You've got trend lines to break, trend lines to back test, resistance and support to break and pass and turn into support before any of that can happen. Realistically speaking, you've got to understand that you're so worried about everything else. You're worried about the what. You're worried about the why. Just use the chart. The when doesn't matter. The why doesn't matter. All you need to do is find the chart that you think looks good, buy it, and ride it up. If it's not time to buy it, then don't buy it. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Just a dude on the internet trying to help as many people as I can. Start simple and make the most money possible in the least amount of time. I can go hardcore on this stuff, and we can get down on the Renko charts on the 5-minute time frame, and I could come on here and do that crap, and it's going to completely disinterest everyone. I don't want to do that. All right? That's something that you guys can't see on your end, okay? I understand the analytical part of it from the who watches what, and I realize nobody wants to see that shit. Okay, that's why nobody does it. All right, so there's my XRP analysis. For the moment, it feels good. I know it's up. Let's go down to the daily chart, though, and see some more interesting details. Disregard this white line and just say that I'm wrong about it. All right, cool. You cannot deny that this is a downtrend. You cannot deny that. Great. So maybe it broke. Yeah. Let's pull a trend line and see. Let's just pull a basic trend line. Basic trend line says, no, we haven't. Let's get a little bit more deep with it. Maybe I didn't draw my trend line perfect, right? So let's try to catch every single little wick we can on the top here. Maybe that's the way it should be drawn, right? Because maybe I didn't draw it right because I'm an idiot. All right, so even if I did that, what does this show me? This shows me that I've tapped the trend line roughly twice. It's making a bit of a triple top. And if it makes a triple top and can't break through this line, that's bad news, folks. A triple top, that shows me that we're going to get a wick off. And if we get a wick off, it's going to get ugly because then it's going to come back down and do a couple capitulatory drops and fade along the bottom. And then try to test this trend line again, just like it did previously, every single bear cycle. Every single bear cycle. The same thing happened over and over again. Triple top, double capitulation sideways, and it tried to come back up and didn't make it. Did the exact same thing back here. I mean, like, it did the exact same thing back here. Triple top, double capitulation sideways, try to get up and go, I couldn't. Triple top, double capitulation, dropped down, finally got up over support and took off. There you go. I can't say it any other way than that. I need to see it prove it first. If it can break through and move on up, excellent. I'm here for it. I want to see it happen, but it hasn't happened yet. Okay. All right. Let's answer some questions real quick because I've been rambling on and I'm sorry. It just stresses me the shit out, dude. People stress me the hell out. That's crazy. I didn't used to get this way, but I realized the stress levels have picked up, right? The markets are acting weird. The markets went from down 8% to up 3% in one day. And that was across the board. That was even the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, futures, everything, dude. Options, they were all going whack today. So that's part of the game, right? Part of the game. Learn to deal with it. Let's get back to last night's movements. Right, I saw that one. It's 5 a.m. here. I got to get up the stream. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Aaron Bostrom, what's up? Jeremy Monroe, what's up? Dirty Dan. How long does it have to hold for? I like to see it break and hold the trend line for at least a week if you're on a weekly chart. All right. When's a good time to short Ethereum? As soon as we test the downtrend and find a good spot. Up to you to short when you want. This is still a bear market. Do I think it needs to be a hardcore short? No. If you see the capitulation start off and continue, then you want to stay in, knock yourself out. I know the top up here was the best place to short, right? But we're way past that. We can't use hindsight analysis. Hey, what's up, Yuri? Good to see you. What's up, Big Tex? Give me some bad news on AVAX. All right. So let's look at Bitcoin real quick first. I still have this timeline laid out for you for Bitcoin. I'll go through this one more again. About 100 days before midway between the bull run peak and the next halvening. All right. That's where, I'm sorry, that's not the right spot. Midway here to the capitulation was about 100 days. Right. And if you understand how I'm getting that, I got the date of halvening here marked out from the last halvening. I've got the peak of the previous halvening before that. Over here, I have the date for the conditional next halvening. Here's the peak date. All right. Halfway is midway. You get what I'm saying there? All right. After midway, 100 days. As you see, we're already past that. So, are we done? Are we done? Is this over now? I don't know. What I do know is we're still under the trend line. And you see how close it was to the trend line back here. Well, here we are. Same situation, right close to the trend line. Do I know this is done? No. No. In fact, this thing could keep on and break the trend line, and I'll completely change my attitude if it can get up over this line and hold it for a week. It just so happens that 20,000 is right here and creating a very hard barrier. If it breaks it, I'm here to tell you about it. I really will. I'll be here and I'll be the first guy in line saying, here we go. But again, prove it. Now, if it holds here, it's going to try to prove it, isn't it? If it holds here and can flip 20,000 and bounce along 20,000 for a week after it breaks that trend line, I'll shut the hell up and we can go bullish, okay? And I'll go ahead and start buying. All right? I've got a ton of stable coins ready to buy with. I can't yet. This is the most ungodly hammer candle that ever existed. That ever existed. It was all the way down here when we were watching it about 8:30 this morning, right? Right? Everybody was all pumped up for the news. News came. Flat. Should have been good for currency, and then the dollar reversed down 1%, which it rarely ever does. Then it formed this ridiculous hammer candle. Ridiculous hammer candle that happened to break back over the triangle that it just broke south. Very wild activity. The very wild activity. The diamond pattern that someone brought up to me before still doesn't quite hold water. This thing needs to get back over this trend line and over resistance before the diamond pattern is a realistic pattern. Pivot points. Again, the pivot point is right here at 20,000 as well. It's got to break that, become flip over and become more bullish beyond that. That hasn't happened yet. Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands are still screaming tight. Screaming tight, and the top of the bands just happen to be sitting right there where the pivot point is. Okay? Ichimoku cloud is a really cool indicator because what the Ichimoku cloud does is it goes slow. And although it goes slow, it helps us see things a bit longer out and a bit farther out, so we can kind of see things for what they are later and not necessarily worry about the right now. What does Ichimoku cloud say? Ichimoku cloud says, ha 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 ha. Nope, not time. You have 4 out of 4 red check marks, red X's, I'm sorry. You're about to get 1 green if the lag line can break through right here and cross over the candles. It hasn't done it yet. It's kind of in line with it. 2, you get another one if the conversion line can stay over the baseline, but it just flipped underneath it. 3, you got a red X over here because your cloud's red. Number 4, your price is not over the cloud. You have 4 red X's still. You haven't even started breaking the rules of the cloud yet, which are very stale and very easy to follow. I have nothing here from the cloud telling me to hurry up and buy anything. So I can't hurry up and buy it. I just can't. And if you've ever seen Don't Be a Menace, it's hurry up and buy. Hurry up and buy. Right? You wouldn't know that if you're not old enough. So what do I see here? There are a couple distinct possibilities. Number 1, this price breaks the line, breaks the blue trend line, jumps into the cloud, plays around inside the cloud right here, just on the other side of this, becomes more bullish, flips up and goes. I would like to see that happen. Number 2, price stays flat. It does nothing and it just jogs sideways while staying under the cloud and under 20,000 at the same time. Now, would this be bullish? For half and half reasons. Number 1, it's stuck under resistance. Number 2, it's stuck under the cloud and indicators would still be going sideways. Number 3, even though you broke that blue line, you haven't proven it yet. So, what's the worst case Ontario? Worst case Ontario here is you just get bearish retest and it continues to fall down here to where these green boxes are. And these green boxes are labeled at about 17,005, 17,000, and 16,005. Those will be your first capitulation levels. If this happens, which I still believe there's a high probability of, if this happens and this price comes down here to these green boxes, sentiment is going to go right back to bearish like it was. And you're going to see everybody very upset, and you'll see a whole bunch of people stopping, especially the big influencers, stopping saying, we're in the bottom. I've used it as a basic marker. When I see a bunch of influencers start talking about where the bottom is and they don't ever read a chart, that's all I need to know. I can do the opposite of what they do. And typically, you're going to win. All right? Sounds ridiculous, but it holds water if you go back and do the math. All right? Flip around through Twitter and real quick and you'll see what I'm talking about. Some of the biggest accounts. Bottom is in, for sure. Bottom. This is the bottom. I'm like, bro, I'm looking at your timeline going, dude, you've been talking a lot of shit for a long time about how great stuff is. That shit's down from 70,000 to 20,000. But whatever. What's up, you Butte? Good to see you. I remembered the name. What's up, AG? Martin Sterling said, you crushed it on morning volatility. Congrats. If I can only watch the charts 50 minutes a day, I will lose out on sick gains. Are they a big deal for long-term success? No, not necessarily, because you're already going to see it coming on the daily chart and kind of understand that the daily chart's giving you plenty of time to do everything. Just sit back and relax. Mentioning daily. If I pull up the moving averages here, this thing blew right back through the 8 and 21 like it wasn't even there, and it's attempting to push to the 50-day moving average right now. One thing we know about moving averages is when you just push through them without checking them along the way or stopping and bouncing around along the way, price tends to come right back down to them again, just like it did here, where it blew through the 821 and blew through the 50 and blew through the 100. And what happened? You got an immediate smack in the face correction right back in the other direction. All right. Here we are again. Tried to push through, tried to push through, tried to push through. All these failures of it trying to push through still hasn't made it past 20K. Here we are again, trying to push through again. Big, huge momentum, right? Look at this hammer candle and what happened. Remember this one? Same thing. I said, damn, that's the biggest hammer candle ever. Faded and faded and faded and faded and rose up. Here it is again. Biggest hammer candle ever. Is the same thing going to happen? Well, this time it looks like it's different, doesn't it? Got this big green candle coming in right after a hammer to give you bullish confirmation of a mega move up. But we're still stuck under the trend line. Still stuck under the trend line, so I need you to prove it to me first. If that happens, again, happy to say so. You're going to get some arbitrages from different exchanges. This is the Binance USDT chart. I was just looking at the TradingView index for Bitcoin. And if you go to the futures, that one's kind of different. They all look a touch different. But price is near the same on all of them. And there is some change in differential a little bit between them. Like I said, it's arbitrage, but not a ton. A lot of indicators saying the bottom is in many YouTube channels. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Miss Beverly? Good to see you. Got some money, get ready to come your way. All right. So let's pause for a moment and then we'll get to looking at some other charts. If you haven't done so real quick, we have a whole Discord full of people that talk about this stuff nonstop. including many people who just sit in there and talk crap to me the whole time. This Discord link won't quite work anymore. I'll pull up the actual one because if you don't have a high enough level Discord, they take that link away. But I do have one for you right here. Uno momento. Right here. Copy. And paste. And bam. Here's our Discord. All right. Here's our general access. If you jump over in our Discord, which is free for general members, and the instructional videos are free, and there's a couple of the free channels, you can come in and ask questions and talk to us, yada, yada. We've been talking about charts all day long. We've been going back and forth about random stuff. We were talking about music earlier. We're talking about all kind of stuff, all right? We have an unlimited forums in there. You can go in there and talk about whatever you want, whenever you want. It's your free space to talk about whatever you'd like. If you would like to sign up and have full access of our Discord, you can do so with this little link right here. Here's our LaunchPass link. LaunchPass gets you full access. It's $4 a week. That's the cost of one Starbucks coffee per week. Is that a ton of money, everybody? Is it a ton of money, everybody? No, it's not. It's a couple of dollars a week. One Starbucks coffee a week gets you full access to our Discord. There's a little video right here to help you learn how to watch it, help you learn how to set everything up. Right here is our LaunchPass link, and paste, and done. There you go. You can jump over in there with us, get full access. We'll chop it up and talk about anything you want to talk about, most particularly charts. Now, someone's already asked me about AVAX, so let's look at that one first. Let's go to AVAX. So it's a similar sentiment with AVAX, only a little worse than Bitcoin. You got this gnarly downtrend with pressure still pointing down. You had a really, really ugly candle yesterday, although it does have a good tail wick on the bottom of it here, which signifies buying pressure. Again, we've had this happen multiple times. Every time we get a little bit of buy pressure, bulls try to pull it back up, And I'm hearing a lot of this talk about how the bears are really sweating right now. Bro, they've been eating profits for months. I'm not sure they're sweating. Not sure they're sweating at all. Bulls are sweating. Why? Because this shit keeps failing and failing and failing and failing. And you get one break. How crunk are you going to be on one break? I think that crunk will be a lot crunk, but it'll be very disappointing. So, same thing for AVAX. You're still under every EMA. Let's go through the same gambit of things I just did a minute ago on Bitcoin. Only this one's worse. You're stuck under S1. You haven't even got above the pivot line or above S1 to move toward the pivot line here. Where Bitcoin, you saw that it was actually above that extra level. It was a little one level higher, one range higher up. AVAX very much is not. Bollinger Bands spreading out somewhat as compared to Bitcoin, but they are trying to narrow up and hit the bottom of the bands. Now it's kind of trapped in that little zone right there. This leads me to the point about what happens if we go to the weekend, the CME turns off, and you have nothing but the exchanges running. If we have wild movement during the weekend, then you will get a gap, and that gap will maybe potentially close one day. I don't want to see weekend movement. I would prefer if the weekends were stale, and then we get our movement on Sunday nights when the CME market opens back up. This is why I don't really want to watch too much on the weekends, and I don't really want to trade the weekends either. As far as Ichimoku cloud goes, all bearish, same sentiment as before. Cloud pointing downward. Every single cloud indicator is a red X. I can't say anything good about AVAX yet because it just ain't time. Let's go to XLM. XLM had a really, really crappy day as compared to most yesterday. A lot of them recovered. XLM didn't, but it's using today as its bullish engulfing candle, breaking through what bearishness it did make. All trying to hold this level down here still. Now, could this be a wedge in the bottom and it be ready to break out? Yeah, it could. I need to see proof first. As soon as you break the wedge, we can talk. Just hasn't done it yet. FTM. This is one of the worst case stories here. I got this one drawn, which wasn't correct. But you see the big green trend line right here, hammering down on this thing. Right? Pretty obvious that's pinched down. And not only did it pinch down, but it broke under that line, and now it's tested the bottom of it. That is not bullish to me. In fact, that looks like that's going to sit there, hesitate for a couple of days, and continue to fail. Now, I can't be for sure about that. It's damn sure what it looks like to me. That doesn't look bullish at all. That looks the opposite of bullish. That looks like that's going to fail miserably. I don't want to see it, but it looks like it. Adam, been shorting the hell out of this. This thing went exactly where I drew this arrow to. Interesting. Went exactly where I drew the arrow to. Now it bounced. That's cool. I kind of expected a bounce here, but I was hoping it would push on through it. Didn't quite make it. Stuck in this price zone now. Right here. Stuck in this range. The top of this range is all the way back at $13, almost flat, 13.1. Will it get to the top of this range? That's tough because it's sitting on some support now right here, but it's stuck under some resistance as well. So it may just range out here for a couple of days. It did try its best to break the 200-day moving average. It never quite was able to do it. I'll pull those back up here now. Take my range back off. I'll drop the fibs because we just saw those. And as you see, it kind of fell through every moving average as well without checking it. Now it's coming back to check it. Again, it kind of feels like fool's gold here. Kind of feels like fool's gold. This after big falls, you get one green up, and it's like, ooh, here we go, and then you get that fall back again. It did the same thing right here, didn't it? You got that drop, and then it came back and played with you, and then dropped, and then here we are doing it again. Does this mean it's over? No, we actually don't have any confirmation of anything. All I can see is that we're stuck under all of our moving average except one. We're over the 100, but that's the only one we're over. And this damn sure looks like it's all pressing downward to me. One of the best Discords out. Well, thank you, brother. Thank you. 64 watching and only 8 likes. There's 46 likes. We got 70 people watching. Go hit like, y'all. We get 70 people watching. We get 70 likes. That'd be dope. Right? We got 46. Let's get the likes pumped up, man. They're free. They don't cost anything. I know some of you guys want to dislike, and that's cool too, but please understand that I'm here to help you make money. I'm not here to help you lose money. There's plenty of channels that'll come tell you all the bullshit and all the fake stuff and all the hopium. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm just not going to be that guy. I'm going to keep it real with you because most of you people who come in here and watch this stream are of age. And if you're of age, you understand you don't have time for the bullshit. You would think everyone would be that way. Yet, people keep getting attracted to the bullshit channels, and I can't stop it. All I can do is do my part. Cycling Cotton, what's up, brother? CeeLo. It says CeeLo. CeeLo Green. We were doing old music earlier, and I was listening to some CeeLo Green, bro. Remember that song, Forget You? It was actually Fuck You. I was jamming that shit in the truck earlier. I went to the bank. All right. So, similar sentiment here, kind of slapping around at the bottom of this trend. Through a really gnarly red hammer candle here. Stuck under the 8 and the 21. And resistance. Right here, I'll show you. There you go. It's a little bit better view right there. Now, can it break back above this? It kind of looks like it wants to. I need some proof first. This thing has a long way to go to prove it to me. I'd like to see it break all of these moving averages first and get up here somewhere before I would take a chance on it because I need proof. This thing has done nothing but fail for a really long time. And honestly, it looks like it may keep doing it until it hits this trend line again, which sucks. Is what it is. All right. All right. YFI. Hey, man, look at this one. This is a different one from what most look like. Had this really sharp move, and it did this XRP thing where it come up and slapped, and then tried to hold. Now it's failed. Now it's under all the averages, and then that's crossing back over. Problem is, you got this 200-day moving average pressing down. While it is curled up and looks like it wants to head back toward this 200-100 crossing right here at 12.14, I don't know that it'll have momentum to get there fast. It does look like it's pointing that direction. This is one that looks better than most. Over the pivot, yeah, it looks like this one can go to at least 11.04 potentially. But I don't know if I would go much farther past that if it were me. Do what you want, though. All right. Quant. Yeah, everybody wants to talk about Quant. How wrong I am. Awesome, right? All right. Quant continues to break every single barrier that there is. Inverse head and shoulders clearly played out. Those who longed this did way better than me because I didn't touch it. I actually thought this was coming back short towards $72. It reversed up and stayed up. I was wrong. Awesome. So where do I see this going? Clearly it's pointing toward 188, and I don't think it's done yet. How much farther can it go? It's already went a long way. All the indicators are already overbought. MACD is screaming high. RSI's through the roof. All the moving averages are lined up, though. So if it wants to fail, it ain't going to fall much farther past 140 or 104. We'll have to watch those levels one at a time. It really just depends. This same thing happened with VET back in the day when VET was doing its move during the middle of a bear market. No one knew what was going on. Everyone thought VET was going to be special. It fizzled out. Might this do that? It might. It continues to break every single barrier, and I can't say anything other than uptrend. Look at that go. Shit. Look at that uptrend. Brilliant. I'll just move all this stuff off. There you go. You can just see the candles for what they are. Because that's what a bunch of people are going to whine about. Why don't you just take all that stuff off and use only the candles? Well, there you go. Happy? So, there you go. Broken trend right about here when it back tested, but you can't hindsight analysis that shit. It never came back and tested this trend line. It just did one little bounce, skipped over, and it's done nothing but go up since. It's broke through resistance, hitting more resistance now, but it doesn't seem to want to stop. It seems to be breaking every single logical rule here. I missed this train. I'm not trying to jump on it. It may go a little farther. Knock yourself out. SNX. I wish I was right every time, but I'm not. All right. SNX still trapped in the same predicament as a whole lot of other coins. This one looks similar to all the dog coins. They kind of all have the same look, and they all look just like this, where they're all fading very sharply. Stuck under the 8 and the 21 and the 50, 100, 200, all pointing down. Is it good for a short? No, not right now. I don't think so, because it's sitting in between. You kind of need this to be under that S1 pivot, not over it. 215 is a better short entry than where you're at now, because you're over support right now. And if you're hitting, you got resistance here, but you have short-term support here. So I would want some more confirmation before I shorted. That's just me. Do whatever you want. It's your money. All right. Am I late? Did Nick get here before me? He sure did. REEF. Let's look at REEF. I think I've looked at that one on here in a while. See if we can find a better chart. It's not very much. Yeah, there we go. All right, REEF doing similar. Here's a play for everyone that may work out. Who brought this one to the attention? Life's Great in Colorado. Thank you. Look at this, everybody. So here's your next I get to tell Keith he was wrong moment. This is an uptrend. It has broken the downtrend. Let's look at all the moving averages, shall we? Look at that. Broken the 200. All the moving averages are pointing up. It seems to want to keep going here. Let's put the pivots on it. Look at that. Stuck under R1, but it's trying. It's trying. This may be a sign that REEF's ready to run up. May follow in Quant's footsteps, huh? Next resistance isn't all the way up here till 0075. Roughly 0075? Yeah, roughly 0075. I don't even see any more chart until then. So it's been nothing but a mega downtrend from the beginning. And here it is trying its best to rebound. Resistance there. It could go all the way to 008. Let's watch and see. Not my cup of tea yet. I want to see Bitcoin break its thing. I want to see total market cap break its thing. Then I'll be ready to jump into some more stuff. There are always going to be outliers, and I don't want to be the front runner and try to find all the little cutesy stuff and get caught. Here's total market cap, by the way. I was just mentioning total market cap. Let's pull this off, and just look at candles. All right. Two different trends. Total market cap has one downtrend going this way and one sharper downtrend going this way. All right. Neither of which have broken. Let's break one. Then we'll talk. It's kind of the way I feel about it. And when this breaks and starts to move up, maybe it follows in the footsteps of Quant, Matic, Link, REEF, those few that have done this. Perhaps it breaks out and goes. ENS was one of them. Everyone keeps pointing out a few of them that have went way up and are saying, hey, Keith, why don't you buy this? Well, it's already way up. I've already missed that train. Just find a different one. I need to see total market cap break the same trends. Hasn't done it yet. Make some sense to me. Make some sense to me and break some levels. Once it breaks some levels, I'll give everyone the credit that they got me and I was wrong. Waiting on it though. MNW, that's Morpheus network. All right. Morpheus network still stuck under resistance right here. Bounced off of it one time already. Trying to make another run at it and already throwing a wick on the top of this candle. Not too sure about this one. Stuck under the trend. Stuck under resistance. I need to see this one break first. It's close to breaking. I would want to buy it once it broke trend. That's just me. What's up, Strider? Educated Dummy says, have a beer. I'm not trying to drink tonight. Sea Pool. Clear Pool. There we go. Here you go. Here's another one that looks magnificent and totally proves Keith wrong. Running the uptrend very well here. Already hit R3 and faded back to the pivot. So there's another chance that excuse me. There's another chance that it comes up and smacks those other two pivots again that already broke through one time. You are fiddling around with resistance here. It's some of the only resistance that it's got. Honestly, this looks like one of those fake node charts. May even be one. I don't know. Never heard of it. So there's good resistance right here at about 20 cents. Yeah, right about 20 cents. You got good resistance. Let's mark that. About there. And that needs to be a red line. Like that. There you go. There's your resistance. I want to see it break that first. That's just me. Not going to get suckered into some plays here. Just did Morpheus Network, Fisherman. That's another one that Keith's been wrong on. And it's going to go way up probably, right? Am I late? Did Nick beat me? Yeah, Nick beat you. All right, let's go through some other ones real quick. Amplify. Not Samplify, Keith. And before someone says it, why don't you just type, Keith? It'll pop up. It's not that simple, everyone. I have 3 screens. So if I type and my cursor's on this one, it types on that one. But if I move my cursor over here, it starts typing over here. If I move it over here, it changes my software and starts typing on the software screen over here. And I don't want that to happen. So, all right, Amplify already made a big move and it looks like it's starting to trend back down. So I would probably not, if it was me, not bother with this one right now. It already broke its uptrend and is showing me bearishness. There you go. See, there it kind of makes more sense. Broke the pivot under the trend line, broken main uptrend. That looks gnarly. Looks gnarly. So until that changes, I wouldn't, myself, I would not get involved in this one. This doesn't look good enough for me. See a cycling cotton. Dollar index, is it in a downtrend right now? Well, let's go look at the dollar index. Boy, someone's going to roast me for this one. No, it's still in an uptrend. It just made a lower high on a certain time frame. It's still got a chance to continue up here. It made lower highs before and continued up. All right. It just needs a little bit more time, I think. A trend tag here doesn't mean the end of the world. Let's look at the moving averages and stuff. As you'll see, you haven't failed all the way to the 50-day yet, and it's hit the 50-day multiple other times and just bounced right up off the 50-day moving average and kept going. At a certain point in the last couple of days, Bitcoin and the dollar are moving together, which is odd. It doesn't happen very often. And where I thought Bitcoin would break, it didn't. The dollar broke. So I'm going to come on here and say, now the dollar will break and the dollar will go down. If I say that, the dollar will go up, right? So stuck in between the 8 and the 21 EMA right now. All your indicators are rolling over telling you to stop. Should die, right? Should die. So would that put an end to 122 or so for the dollar. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see if it can tag this trend line and hold it. If it can, that'll signal more up. If it can't, then we'll know. We'll know to stop. It's been moving nuts lately. And in fact, as it's moved up very sharply, Bitcoin hasn't went down very much, nor has all of crypto. All of crypto has not fallen as far as I thought it would with the dollar moving the way it has. Sand. I think the whole world's getting sick of the dollar, so you're going to start seeing world leaders do the best they can to make things change, right? That's only smart from their perspective to pander to their voter base. You have to do that in order to get votes. I get it. All right, so sand's stuck in this lower range here still. Struggle busting it, hasn't quite broken through yet. Under the 8, 21, 50, 100, 200, and trend. Under everything. Just hasn't finished itself off yet and done well enough. It did come down and tag support. I think this is a temporary quick bounce. So much sell pressure to break. Everything's still pointing down. I expect this to hang out down here for a bit and not just all of a sudden shoot back up. Could be wrong. Could break trend and take off. One thing at a time, though. Thank you, brother. I was thinking like 120 for the dollar at least. 120 to 122 I thought also as well, but it hasn't happened. And I'm on the keep spin wrong train lately, so I'm trying to mitigate my own thought process because I was right for a long time, and now sometimes you start getting wrong and you see the trend break, right? So I'm trying to analyze my own trend as well, the trend of me, and see how wrong I am sometimes. What about that nasty looking Solana and KDA? Let's do KDA first. Yep, Kadena has broken support. Not great. Kadena looks horrible. I need to see this improve greatly before I purchased it myself. It's done nothing but fail. In fact, this is a sell pressure token. It's only ever failed. It's only ever went down. Sucks. Let's do Solana. All right. Solana looks a little better than Kadena. Let's see. Let's pull this. Now that line doesn't quite fit the narrative there. There we go. That makes a lot more sense. Something in my eye. Shoo, sorry. Ooh, got something in my eyelash, I think. Broke the wedge south, testing the wedge, potentially breaking back in through the wedge. Same story across the entire board. Seems unsustainable, yet it continues to do it. I can't say anything except ride it out. Potentially Solana breaks this trend. If it breaks this trend and goes up, that would be excellent. Why? Because I have some Solana stuck on Voyager and they won't let me have it to sell it. And I wanted to sell it and I couldn't because they wouldn't give it to me. And I'd love to sell it and use it to trade for something else, but it's stuck. It's just stuck. Thanks a lot, Voyager. Woo. I remember this one from the last bull run. Still under trend. I can't go with this one yet. First thing I saw rather rapidly was that trend is not broken. Under moving averages under the 100 and 200, but you're over the 50, so you're probably going to get a run up to this 100 at about 17 and a quarter. Doesn't make a whole lot of hurt there. It's probably going to happen. That may test the trend when in the process. 17 and a quarter. That's cent. 17 and a quarter cent. Makes sense. Makes 17 and a quarter cents, doesn't it? R1 is a bit of a pain right here at 16.3, but if it can break that, you're going to get that short-term run up. It's got some barriers in the way, so it's not just going to be a quick bam kind of move, in my opinion. We'll see. Silver, already done XRP for 15 or 20 minutes, Joseph Bayer. I got silver over here. The whole thumbnail was about silver there, brother. Silver's still stuck, man. I thought it may start performing better. Failed miserably. Back under the trend. In fact, showing nothing but volatility spikes and volatility fails. High volume, but equal as much volume selling as volume buying. No bueno. You do have some sort of bullish divergence here, right? You got rising strength on your RSI. That's good. But at the same time, you're stuck under trend. I'd like to see this thing break trend and hold it. And then if it breaks trends and hold it and can stay in one of these upper ranges, that would be excellent. Moves like this are indicative to me of a high time frame move. And here you see that high time frame move kind of playing out. Did a 382 retrace and it started to fail. In my opinion, this is an even higher time frame move than the weekly. Probably a monthly move. So let's step back for a moment and do a monthly chart here on silver and have a look. All right, let's start down here at the bottom and see how far back we've retraced. So far, we're at the 50 fib. Can we hold 18.7? If so, great. Go ahead and tell you silver's pretty prolonged the golden pocket. Golden pocket is 0.618 to 0.71. All this area right here, $16.75, 15 and 3/4, or 15 and 1/4, right? So, or 15 and 3/8. All this is possible. If it can't hold this 18.7, you're going to get that short-term failure down through here. Can't deny it. RBN. We got time for one or two more. RBN. Coinbase. Ribbon. I remember this one now. Yeah. Forgot about it. All right. It looks as though it's broken the short-term trend. This is weekly. Yeah. Look at there. This has broken the short-term trend. This is a good find. Good job, Dr. Angle. Look at that. That's clearly broken, clearly trying to do its thing and run up. Can't deny it. Is there anything in the way to stop it? Yeah, we got some resistance right here at 33.5. Some more resistance at 40. More resistance beyond that at 83. Let's play it careful here. Like I said, if some assets want to break and run, that's great. Maybe that's a signal that the bull market's here, and I can be wrong. Let's be sure first, right? This does look to have some sort of bear structure to it, though. Can't deny it. I think you already saw that. You just wanted me to see it, which is great, because I like that. There's nothing wrong with being able to point out assets that are doing well, right? I would agree. Real quick, one more time. Let's look at Bitcoin before the night's over. Sitting flat at 2 1/4, playing with everybody's emotions. Nothing to report yet. Only that it looks like it's going to break trend and run up real high. Right? All right. So that's been almost a solid hour. We're 2 minutes from it. Wanted to take the time to say thank you for everyone. Even if I disagree with you, it's not the end of the world. Even if you disagree with me, it's not the end of the world. We can all be civil and have adult conversations. We don't got to do the cutesy little laughing at each other. We don't got to do the cutesy little dropping comments. We don't got to go to other Discords and talk shit about me or us. It's not necessary. We're all grown-ass people. Let's all act like grown-ass people, right? I don't want to be crypto Twitter. I've never wanted to be crypto Twitter. I've always wanted to be the opposite of that. I always wanted to be a more mature space that makes more mature decisions together as a team. I think if we can keep that energy and keep that thought process, we'll continue to make exponentially more money than everyone else, as we've been doing the entire bear market. Though we did not short the entire bear market, we did save stable coins the entire bear market, or we were able to get in a situation where we could save up as much stable coins as we could during the bear market so that we can buy in that bottom, right? So be careful this weekend. Be smart. Don't do anything super silly. Let's be very careful. We know how weekend trading can go on crypto. Next week, got a whole new gambit of everything. Shouldn't be any special news coming out unless there's some sort of special news press conference made up or something. So one thing at a time. I'll see you all back here again Tuesday, 11 p.m. for another 30 minutes of Crypto After Dark. Thank you for coming. I'll leave you with this. You could have been anywhere in the world, but as the late great Notorious B.I.G. said, you chose to be here with me instead. Thank you. See you guys on the next live stream. Y'all be good now. Peace.